Monday nights we're hardcore politics, and Thursday before a long weekend we are hardcore politics, baby. Give it to you straight for the next few days. Army with the arguments for the next few days, with the family, with the friends. Be polite. Everyone loves their family. No blow-ups, but, you know, if it gets to the subject, we'll give you a little bit of information. Kristy McSweeney is, of course, from the PR Counsel. She joins us now from beautiful Melbourne, and the reason we're in HD, just always looking amazing, none other than Darren Barnett.
Oh,
lovely to see you as well.
That's not where I thought that was heading, Paul. Thank you very much.
All right, now, there's a million polls, but I want to bounce around here, so my apologies to the team behind the scenes. I'll be honest about where the election odds right now are in terms of the betting markets, and it is the Labor Party at $1.22 to win with Sportsbet, the Coalition at $4.30, so an obvious favourite now. Ladbrokes, Labor Party $1.22, TAB $1.25, the Libs blowing out to, well, plus $4 in all of those. So what was previously Libs then became 50-50. Now, bookies say, is pretty strong in the way of Labor. If you're a hardcore supporter, you think the momentum may change, look, bet responsibly, but $4 is a reasonable price if you think you're running towards maybe a different direction. There's also a whole collection of polls, including our mates at Redbridge, and remember we talked to Cos Samaras from Redbridge and Michael Kroger on Sunday nights in State of the Nation. They are having a look at a whole collection of swing seats, and they are tracking whether they are heading the Liberal way or whether they are heading Labor's way. Now, don't worry, you don't have to squint, but I'll do the work for you. Basically, 51-49 in lots of different directions in all of the seats. Now, I'm talking about Robertson on the Central Coast of New South Wales, Reid, suburban Sydney, Shortland in the Hunter, Bruce, suburban Melbourne, Goldstein, the Teal seat in Melbourne, Bullwinkle, the new seat in Western Australia, Hawke, which is the contest between Labor and the Greens. Is it not in Victoria?
No, Hawke's where I grew up, Sunbury.
There we go, in Sunbury. Well done.
yeah.
McEwen, Casey, Bennelong, Gilmore, Hughes, Patterson and Lingiari. Again, 51-49, still nice and tight. Yes, you can see in places like Robertson, it was pro-Liberal by some margin. Now it's just in favour of Labor. A lot of things that you see in that way. So let's talk about these particular polls, whether you trust them, whether you don't. Kristy, does it show a tight race, or does it show the momentum that the bookies seem to believe is there in the election?
Look, I think it is very, very tight. And the reason why I think it's tight, and I've said it before, is that the same people, Redbridge, who give us that poll, are the same people who identify, and they're great mates of mine in Melbourne and great friends of the show, they're the same people who identify how far the soft vote has blown out. And that soft vote is still sitting at about 25%, and 1 in 3 voters voted for independent at the last election, and some of those are going to switch back. So if we combine the 30% of people who don't vote for a major party and might be assessing the major parties, and the 25% of people who haven't made up their mind, it is still very, very close. And I still do think that small margin there reflects the general electorate, despite the Labor Party gaining momentum in the campaign.
Yeah, because that's the question, isn't it, Darren? It is always about momentum. What is very different, I think, about this election than others is when you basically have this set-down week, where are they still going to appear? Yes. Are we going to try to read into who got the biggest cheer at the Sydney East? But basically, from now till the other side of Anzac Day, most people are going to unplug, and it means they have the chats with the families, and we'll see whether that produces an even greater momentum for where the bookies say it's going, or it starts to push us back to where we were just a month ago. What do you think of that poll?
Well, if you look at the seat-by-seat betting, and I've only looked at Sportsbet, but a lot of these seats now have become much more even. Yes. So the seats in New South Wales, so Bennelong, Robertson, Gilmore, early on Macquarie and Werriwa were in it, Patterson is still in it. A lot of them now are slightly favouring Labor, and they were favouring Liberal as little as 2 or 3 weeks ago. The same goes in Victoria for Chisholm. The same goes for a couple of the Teal seats, so the Kate Chaney seat in WA, the Monique Ryan seat, the Zoe Daniels seat. When momentum is not running with you, it's just one of those quirks of elections. And I said this to you before we came on air, the 2010 election, Gillard Abbott, that when momentum started to swing towards the coalition, it just seemed that all of those tight races, the Liberals just got over the line.
Was that there before 2 weeks? I mean, for those that are trying to...
Well, Labor were up 55-45 at the end of week one of that campaign.
Great point.
Then all the leaks started, and then momentum really just swung the other way.
Great
and
point.
that 36-hour marathon to the line, all of those things, just momentum sat with Abbott.
Well,
So
and
my
in
point is that... And all those seats just ended up falling by a fairly small margin. Unless Dutton can take the momentum, I think he is in a world of trouble.